Hello and welcome to It's Tea Time. I'm your host, Jonathan Sellers, and we've got a new guest with us today, and that's Steve Stroud, who is the Senior Associate Athletic Director for External Affairs.
Very good.
And Steve is, as I said, new to the show. And Steve, welcome. And first of all, let's just talk a little bit about what you do on that side. We've had Sandy in, and she's told us what she does. Jeremy, he's the head man. But what do you do?
Well, as Jeremy sets our course, as Sandy works on the internal side, as our CFO and compliance, I work on our external side. I oversee all of our ticket sales, all our fundraising, all of the money coming in. We raise the money, we sell the tickets, and then Sandy and Jeremy go and spend it.
And so far, I mean, you've been doing a good job, especially with the ticket sales. Things have gone very well for the first two games, and big numbers and big season ticket numbers as well. And that's got to be very promising for you.
It's a great sign and a great. Our fans really stepped up this year. Our season ticket numbers were up 35%. Now, they're still lower than they used to be when we were winning 5 conference championships in a row, but much better than last year. And I think as we've all seen for these first two games, with crowds over 20,000 each, this last game at 22,000 was our 9th highest attended game ever.
Wow.
Our 3rd highest conference game ever. So our students are responding, our fans are responding, the walk-up, the week-by-week ticket sales were great. And we look to have another good week for homecoming coming up on the 17th.
And you can just tell the atmosphere with those bigger crowds is just amazing. It's been a difference maker for the first two games. And while we didn't win that game, it was still just an exciting atmosphere for South Alabama. But something else y'all done for the past 2 years, I believe, is send out surveys. And you're just trying to get fans' feedback from their game experience, see what y'all can improve and make better for them.
I guess bottom line is that our staff, we see what we see during the game, but it's been very valuable for us to ask the questions. What are our fans seeing during the games? What do they enjoy? What do they not enjoy? And every game we've done a little bit here, a little bit there to keep tweaking. We've gotten a lot of feedback that folks still don't know where Will Call is, which is located over at Riddle Pace baseball stadium. So more signage went up. We had a fleet of golf carts, courtesy shuttles this game, trying to shuttle people from some of our farther parking lots up to the stadium. Concessions are always going to be an issue, just that many people in that small of a space. But this week we worked to add the flex points for the students, as well as additional credit card stations throughout. So yeah, it's our job to keep our ears open and to ask our fans what do they want, so we can give them more of it.
And that's just to make things convenient, especially credit cards. A lot of people carry those rather than cash these days. The courtesy shuttles, I mean, people, sometimes they just don't want to walk or are unable to walk, and that helps them get across campus. So anything else that you've gotten from feedback from the South Alabama game that maybe you're working on, or are you still going through all those surveys?
You know what? We're still going through them. Surveys went out last night and came in, again, at a very good clip. Still working through some student issues, and that the student crowd was so good this past week that spilled over into the section next to it, and working to make sure that those two sections stay separate, make sure our season ticket holders have the experience that they want, and our students can have the experience they want. Beyond that, there were certainly some concession lines that we need to keep working on, continue to increase the number of points of sale, number of places that folks can go to get concessions items. But all in all, a lot of the issues we've had seem to go away, and we're going to continue to refine our game day experience.
Well, and still just in a couple of weeks is one of the bigger games, one of the most attended games of the year, and that's going to be homecoming. So I'm sure y'all are still working and trying to get things better for that one. But what's the information for that one for people who maybe haven't gotten their tickets yet or are looking to visit that week?
Sure. 2:30 kick, and with everything going on during the day, that works well for us. That leads it right after the parade, after all the Trojan Walk and all the different alumni events going on during the weekend, not just on Saturday. Ticket prices are the same, $15 GA, $24 reserve tickets. I know a number of our different alumni chapters are pushing their members to come out strong. And we always have a good crowd for homecoming. A lot of alumni circle this date on the calendar and know that they're coming back. One big change that we'll make this year is that the Sound of the South alumni will actually play at the last game of the year.
Okay.
They will not play during halftime. I mean, that way because a number of those alumni who are band instructors, they couldn't make this game. They've got other high school band obligations. Right. So moving that to the last game of the year should make that game a lot of fun. and allows all those Sound of the South alumni to get back and enjoy the parade, and enjoy game day, and enjoy homecoming. So we expect a great crowd. Another 20,000 plus would be fantastic. And as long as the students keep coming out and supporting it strong like they have so far, I think we'll hit those numbers.
And you mentioned that band. It's also going to be a big celebration for them as they're celebrating a few anniversaries. So hopefully, as you mentioned, a big attendance for that game as well. But heading off of football and heading into basketball, which they actually just recently started practice, y'all are looking to go ahead and start moving some tickets for that as well.
It's time. Yeah, it's we've been so focused on football that it's time to switch gears a little bit and get back to basketball. But both Phil and Shanda have great teams coming back. We're very excited about the prospects for both of those teams. The season tickets start at $125, and most folks have been through Trojan Arena at this point. Everyone agrees it is a fantastic building. I know that the men host both UAB and Southern Miss this year, so we'll have a couple big name games on the schedule. And both teams, I think, are on the up and up. So we're excited to get to basketball and excited to have those practices just now starting up.
And if fans don't have your information or want to get more information about season tickets, who should they call, or where can they get that information?
Well, the best place is always TroyTrojans.com.
Okay.
Hit the website, all the ticket information as well as what's going on with the teams. Our ticket office number is 334-670-3681 or 877-878-WINS.
Okay.
So either way, heck, you give us a call, we'll come to you.
Just one way or another,
we will find you.
We'll get it done.
We will find you.
All right, and one other thing I know we always like to talk about, and that's the Trojan Warrior Fund, and that's really one of the big fundraising arms of athletics. And once again, you're just trying to grow it slowly by slowly, but if you can get it going, it's going to help benefit the athletic department.
Well, and it's interesting in that the annual fund, the Trojan Warrior Fund, and football season tickets kind of mirror each other. And the Warrior Fund is up also about 30% so far this year. A lot of interest, a lot of folks that we haven't been in touch with in the past who see the positive momentum, who see the coaches that represent us, the student athletes who represent us, and they like that, and they're proud to be a Trojan again. And so those numbers will continue to go up. Continue to fundraise for the North End Zone, continue to fundraise for all of our teams, and it's going well. It's going very well.
And the same information for that, you could contact the same people?
TroyTrojans.com is by far the best. Our ticket office can certainly direct you to where you need to be.
Okay. Well, anybody, if you have money to donate to Troy University Athletics, this is the man to talk to, or just do anything you can to help. And Steve, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time, and we're going to talk a little soccer now with the head coach of that team, and that's Coach Jason Hamilton. And Coach, last week you went on the road and headed to Louisiana. You were able to pick up 2 victories kind of after redeeming yourself after that loss to South Alabama, and it had to feel good to get back in the win column.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just what we needed after losing to South. We had talked about before the season, if we win 6 games in our conference, that's probably going to get second place for you, and we want to finish in the top 2 to have the higher seeds going into the conference tournament. So, losing at home, was the first time that we've had to face that this year and even last year. So, we had to make up a game, and we talked about if we win the games at home, which we have 5 in conference, and then we split the 2 non-conference or the 2 conference road trips, then we're going to be in good shape. Right. Giving up that loss at home, we needed to make it up somewhere. So, going on the road, conference or non-conference, it's always tough to get 2 wins. So we're really happy with the results and how we finished that weekend out.
How did your team play in those games?
It was kind of 2 different stories. So I'd say Friday night was probably one of the worst games we've had in the 2 years that I've been here. We went out and we scored in the first 2 or 3 minutes, and the team kind of took the path of this is going to be an easy game, and we didn't execute our game plan. We didn't do the things that we wanted to do, and we made it a harder game than it needed to be. Monroe had a few chances. It wasn't a game that was ever that we didn't think we had in hand, but it's a game that we could have won by a few more goals, gotten some players some rest, and it wouldn't have come down to the final whistle. So we were a little disappointed in how we did with that game, and I think that's always a tough thing for a lot of sports is playing to the level of your opponent and not playing to your own potential. So that game was a little bit disappointing. We were happy to get the win, but we weren't happy with our performance. So we made some adjustments. On Saturday we talked a lot. We showed some video, and then we came out with a much better performance on Sunday. And it's funny because South had the same thing. South Alabama went to double overtime with Monroe on Sunday. So road conference games are always tough, but the best teams are the teams that play consistently and not play up for some games and down for some games.
Well, this week you get to return home to the friendly confines of your soccer complex. And Friday night you're going to be playing Texas State. Then Sunday you're going to be playing Appalachian State. Big travel for both of those teams. But what do you know about the quality of those teams?
Yeah, I mean, those are two teams that I expect to finish in the top 5, if not the top 4, depending on how things play out. So this is a big weekend for us to be at home. Texas State's going to be a very similar opponent to Lafayette, which we saw on Sunday. So, if we can come out and play the same way that we did, maintain possession of the ball, we should be in good shape. They're coming off, just traveling to App State on Sunday and now having to travel again. So it's a tight window and a tough travel week for them. So we've got to take advantage of that, of being home and them having some tired legs from their travel. So, we've got to take advantage of that game first of all, and then Sunday is going to be a completely different game. App State is athletic, a little bit more direct, and a physical team. So those are Sunday games, or whoever brings the most energy, and that's what App State does very well, is they bring a lot of energy. So it's going to be two different games. Friday night, the team who possesses the ball more and can keep the ball is going to have more success, and then Sunday is going to be whoever's more physical and who can battle for the ball. So we're kind of preparing for both of those games. We don't want to look past Friday, but we know if we can play the same way that we did this past Sunday. I think we connected 346 of 448 passes, so 77, 78 pass completion rate, and that's going to allow us to keep the ball and the other team's chasing. So if we can play that way, we're going to be in good shape. That's something that's going to be very difficult to play against, and the way that our team responded from the Friday night game to Sunday was a big difference, and they saw the success that they had by keeping the ball. So that's what the game plan is on Friday night. Make them chase a little bit. Hopefully they're tired from their travel, and if we can make them chase as the game goes on, they're going to get more tired, and it should open some things up, and then be prepared to battle Sunday in a physical game with lots of energy.
And Friday's game will be a 7 o'clock kick. What time is Sunday's game?
Friday's at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday's at 1 o'clock. So the typical schedule at home. We're hoping to get the fans back out there. We let them down last game. We had a tremendous crowd, set the conference record for a Sun Belt conference game. But we let the fans down, and this time we want to get out there and give it back to them, and hopefully make them proud and get a win against Texas State on Friday.
Coach, hopefully you can do just that. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. Hello, welcome back to It's Tea Time, and we're going to talk volleyball with the head coach of the volleyball team, and that's Coach Sonny Kirkpatrick. And Coach, last week you finally got back home like you had been talking about, and were able to pick up a couple of big wins, one over Alabama A&M last Tuesday, and then a big one over Georgia State on Friday night.
Very much so. It's always good to play at home. We know we needed to kind of snap that losing streak, and fortunately we were able to do that on Tuesday night, and that kind of carried over into Friday for us. We had changed a lot of things in what we do and how we do it and how we line up and substitution patterns. And Sunday we implemented all that, so we had 2 days to work on it for Alabama A&M. Was not very smooth, did not look great, but by the time we got to Friday and had a full 5 days in there, really proud of our team for picking up all the changes, and we're pretty much flawless through the match as far as our subs and everything that we were doing.
Well, just looking at kind of the stats, it looked almost like a dominant victory. It was a 3-1 win, but every set you won, it was by a large margin, and you even held them to negative attack percentage.
We played really well. We knew that they had some really good players on their team. They have one of the preseason all-conference players. We did a really good job slowing her down a little bit. And by slowing her down, that allowed our offense to really kind of kick in. And we did a really good job in both offensively and defensive phases of our game. And it was a lot of fun to get back to the level that we think we should be playing at all times.
Now you're going to continue this home stretch for a few more games. You're kind of in a hurry because in just a few short hours you're going to be playing South Alabama, and I know the game will be going on as this is airing. But just kind of talk about that matchup.
It's huge. I mean, that's our natural rival, and on Facebook, one of the people from around town asked if this was for the belt too, and we unfortunately had a loss in football, and we're going to try to kind of pick up the football team. It's a short turnaround until they came here back to campus. Just a natural rivalry, and naturally in those matches you really want to win, especially when you're at home.
And then you've got two more this weekend facing the Louisiana schools. You got Monroe on Friday night, and then Lafayette on Saturday. They're making a long trip here, but again, you get to play at home, and you say you play much better at home. Are you excited about those matchups?
Always. We're always excited to play in front of our fans. Last Friday against Georgia State, we had an amazing crowd. It really energized our team. And we expect and we hope that those folks had a good time, and they'll be back this weekend to help us against the Louisiana schools.
And what do you know about those schools?
Anytime we've lost the last 3 matches to Monroe, and they've all been in 5. So we need to just kind of snap that streak and keep feeling better about ourselves. Lafayette comes in. They lost a lot of girls to graduation last year, so they're a pretty new team. And they're very talented, so we need to perform on our side of the net, and if we do that, we always have a chance to win, and luckily we're doing that as of late.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck. I know you got 3 at home that you're looking forward to, and hopefully you can pull off 3 victories.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, and join us again next week for more on It's Tea Time.